The following is a fan-based discussion. All properties discussed are property of Toei Inc., Bandai, Hasbro, and Subaru Productions.
Part 2!
Dude,
Movie time.
dose.
Yes, we start our movie reviews
Bye.
portion of... Actually, this is part 3. Of Gokaiger month. Part 2 is the in comparison.
Oh, you said part 2 first.
Because I'm an idiot.
Hey, you heard it here first.
I did hear it here first!
Anyway,
But yes, part trace
dry.
of the Gokaiger month long time.
Ah.
I don't know what I'm doing. Gokaiger Goseiger, Super Sentai 199 Hero Great Battle. This is like that movie that you see when you come into Toku. This is that movie.
This is the first Toku movie I think I've ever saw.
It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're here to talk about this movie. Still, you know what? This is a question I'm going to ask you at the end of this.
Okay.
I think you'll know where it's going just based on the thing I'm about to say.
Okay.
It's still my favorite Toku movie.
All right.
It kind of set the bar.
It did. Now, the
Certainly
film...
set the bar for us in our future viewing experiences going forward.
Which is unfortunate.
It's a high bar to get to, folks.
It's a
lot of Toku movies don't get this good.
It's also very
They
true.
also don't get this budget.
Also insanely true. Now, the film begins during the Great Legend War, which we have seen in the beginning of Gokaiger, where the Goseigers are outnumbered by Zangief, and you see Gosei Great just damaged in the back.
Yeah. I also enjoy that this is titled as a Gokaiger movie and we see the Goseigers first.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which, this
Well,
is...
their names in the title, too. But
Is it? I thought it was just...
Gokaiger Goseiger Super Sentai 199 Hero Group.
Oh, I've always just called it Gokaiger 199.
The more you know, folks.
But yeah, so they are attacked and they get surrounded by Gorman.
Mm-hmm.
And then who shows up?
And then Alita said, we're waiting for help from our other senpai, the other Super Sentai teams.
Yep.
And then Aka Ranger and Big One show up to help them fight off the Zangief Empire. Still voiced by their actual actors.
Which was great. I love all the legacy actors that get back for this.
Now, the next people who end up showing up are actually basically all of the extra heroes.
Which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You've got Hime Shinken Red is there, Signal Man's there.
Zuban, Deca Master and Deca Swan.
Yes.
And I think the only one who actually speaks in this is Deca Master, because his voice actor was also there. And then Ryo and Melee are back.
Yeah, Ryo and Melee show up.
They were
Which
dead,
I was a little surprised about.
they're dead in the Versus universe.
That has no bearing on this movie whatsoever. Because I'm pretty sure you could find Abare Killer in the lineup somewhere.
He was there.
Yeah, and he's dead too.
So
That's a good point.
Well, they didn't show the first bio for
Drago Ranger.
Drago Ranger was there.
Time Fire was there.
Time Fire.
So Death holds...
Black Condor. He was also there.
I mean, he did come back in Gokaiger too, so...
He was a ghost.
But yeah, then we ended up
But he
getting...
still came back and was able to physically hit the monster.
Sure. Then we get
He
that
was a poltergeist.
amazing scene of all the Sentai teams lined up, which is still... It, like, sent shivers up my spine.
Does it send more shivers now that you've seen more of these shows?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because it actually gives us
Excuse me.
everything.
Yeah, because now... Oh,
Well, up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
before I watched it and went, God, I have a lot to catch up on. Now I watched it and went, oh,
I've
God,
seen most of this.
I miss most of that.
Yeah.
Okay, by most I mean like 60%.
It's
Yeah.
true. Their O-Ranger exists. But
And Go Under
it's
exists.
also true.
Mm.
But then that entire fight scene of just seeing everyone fight
Mm-hmm. Seeing all these different teams work together
is
and using similar abilities to work together,
everything.
it's pretty cool.
It's legitimately everything. It's everything I wanted just in general. Just
Even like
for
better,
nerd mode.
even funny, like when they get in formation, they're in order.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They are in order. Which, God knows how you do that on the fly. Except the Go Rangers in the center like the 8-ball. When you set up a pool cue. But, I still think that's really cool. But imagine like trying to do that on the fly. All right, you go here. No, you go over there. Down with Go Ranger.
And it actually makes this that much better because remember when they tried, sort of more or less, to do this in Superhero Tyson?
Yeah.
You mean failed miserably, though?
Pretty much. It just didn't have that oomph.
Super-
Even though it was both Sentai and Rider, it's just like...
Here's the thing. The way we got to that point in Superhero Tyson is terrible. It was just like, haha, you thought you were tricking us, but we were tricking you. Everyone comes out of the woodwork and fights.
Basically.
And in this one, it's, our backs are up against the wall. We have called on our senpai to help us. Now let's go out with
Also, this is the beginning of the movie, not the end of the movie.
Yeah, it's the beginning of the movie.
So we're starting off with this, as opposed to dealing with decades bullshit hairdo for an hour.
It's true.
Now,
they have this gigantic fight, and I love... Because I think this is one of the first times they really decided to use a drone for some of the shots.
Mm-hmm.
Because...
Which, God knows they need to do that more.
They do it more now.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
The Jetman scenes, because they fly in.
Yeah, the Jetman fly in.
And then the perspective turns to them.
Mm-hmm.
And you, like, see the flying shot over. And I'm sitting here like,
It's too good.
It's so cool. And then Aqua Ranger's just like, we need to combine our powers, otherwise we'll just get blown up by all the ships that are in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And so they shoot the powers off into space and blow up all the ships, and all the powers go away, and we see Aqua Red watch them fly throughout the universe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Goseigers are on the ground, and Akashi Saki from Go On
Yellow comes up.
Chiaki and Genta from Shinkenger,
They
and
come up.
all note that their powers have been drained to defeat the Zangek.
Mm-hmm.
And it also says even without the powers, they can still help fight fight and defend the planet.
Mm-hmm. And you mentioned, Matt, like a Toku movie getting this kind of a budget. In terms of production values, it still kind of looks like the TV show, just a little bit nicer. Like the frame rate, the frame is a little bit wider.
Yeah,
The frame rate's a little bit slower, but
in terms of cinematography, it doesn't look much different.
I was going to say the budget pretty much just went to hiring all these actors and all these stuntmen.
Hiring all the
these
actors, all
locations.
these stuntmen, and all the effects of, especially like at the end where you get all of the mechs.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of it went into the aesthetic of it as opposed to the technological standpoint of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It
But-
works.
That's kind of the way Japanese
I'll
films work.
I'll rephrase. Instead of being put into the technical standpoint, it was put into the fan service standpoint.
Which is perfectly fine here.
Yeah, because
That's basically
that's the point of the movie.
It really is. And then a few years later, we see the Gokaigers have gotten the Ranger keys back.
Yep.
And are using that in their arsenal in their quest for the greatest treasure in the universe.
Also,
Now,
I would like to point out, I love how many people commented in our Gokaiger review about how also they did not realize that their Jolly Roger was a Ranger key as well.
that was hilarious.
Yeah.
Now,
Not alone.
This does happen a few years later, and this happens between episodes 16 and 17
Mm-hmm.
for a reason that shows up at the end of the movie. Now,
You say that like we don't do spoilers in these reviews. It's Gokai Silver, people.
yeah, but I was waiting until the very end because that's when he shows up as Hero 199.
It's Gokai Silver.
Okay.
We could have talked about this in the review anyway. You fucking idiot.
The Gokaiger's battle platoon of Gorman and Sugorman,
Mm-hmm.
led by Barizorg and Insarn, they use Goanger, Dynaman, and the 5-man Ranger keys.
Yep.
I like seeing the 5-man suits just modern.
In HD.
That show is trash, but I love those suits.
Ooh, excuse me.
And seeing older suits that are not cloth anymore, they're actually spandex.
Yeah.
And off to the side, we see Agri and Monet are standing off to the side and do the thing, saying
They're gonna race.
Yeah, when the Goseiger keys are shown out, they steal all of them back.
Now here's my question. What if they had just decided not to use the Goseiger keys?
They probably would have stolen a different set.
Or they would have just waited.
They didn't wait it.
They would have been following them around forever until they decided to pull the Goseiger keys
We should use the
out.
Goseiger keys. And Marla's, nah. Fuck!
Dang it!
And
It's day number 20!
after they get their keys back and they give them to Alita and the others, Barizorg and Insarn leave. And then the Gokaigers are mad at the Goseigers, like, we got
We stole
these
our keys.
Give them back. And the Goseigers are like, this is ours. Could you also give back Gosei Knight's key? And they're like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And Alita does not believe them. And leads to a pretty great fight scene between the two teams that doesn't feel forced.
No.
Yeah.
This feels sort of natural.
It feels appropriately built up.
Yeah.
It feels appropriately built up. The motivation behind it feels much more genuine, and it was just a cool fight scene.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, it's nice to see a quote unquote versus movie, because this is really a versus movie where they actually fucking fight each other.
Yeah, versus movie where they actually are in conflict from the beginning of the movie.
Yeah. 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 And I still love the fight scene between Alita and Marvelous, just because it's so interesting to see those two fight styles go up against each other.
The hack and slash of pirate versus fencing.
Yeah. So, they end that battle in the stalemate, and they like sort of leave each other, and the Gokaiger's plan to try to get those keys back again. The Goseiger's trying to get Gosei Knight's key, because he's there, but he's trapped in his little Groundion form. And then aboard the Gigantorus, Warsgill and his crew are paid a visit by the Black Cross King. The Black Cross army from the Go Ranger.
From Go Ranger, the very first big bad, if you will.
Yeah. And I love how Warsgill is just like, I don't want you here. You also have a plan to try to take over the Earth. And the Black Cross King is like, not really. I just want to fuck some shit up and kill the Sentai team.
I have been created by all the grudges left behind by those defeated by the Super Sentai.
Now, for this next part, I'm just going to gloss it. So, we have Daigoro Ome, played by the best Kenji Oba.
Oh, yes.
And this man,
this is all parallel to what's going on
Yes.
with our present Sentai team.
So it exists, and I'm just like, oh. It's great to see these people, but also, oh. But this kid has the Dai Densen from Denzi
From Denzi Man.
Denzi Man!
So this guy looks like he's about to commit suicide. People are like, no! And so Ryo, the Heavenly Firestar, a.k.a. the second best man in Sentai, Keiji Wada, and Umeko from Deca Pink shows up. And I'm just like, yay! I love these people.
And I love how the three of them meet and they help this guy out. And I actually really didn't mind them. That whole little parallel story, I didn't mind it. Because,
I love all of these characters. Especially because, it's these three.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, this whole thing sort of builds up at the very end because the guy has is a salary man, but he's like really down on his luck at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he's thinking about selling this toy copy of Variabloon from Go Ranger, their mech.
Yep. The jet.
Yeah, their
Because
jet.
they didn't have a mech yet.
So
those are expensive.
They are very expensive. Back aboard the Gokaiger Galleon, Doc finds the Gosei Knight key, and the Gosei Great attacks the Gokaiger Galleon.
Mm-hmm.
There's this big mech fight, which happens early. And I like the fact that it happens so early. And then there's this whole thing, and then Alta gets aboard the Gokai ship, Gokaio, and goes and gets the key, but Marvelous stops him, and then the Black Cross King comes down and takes all of the keys and brings back 3 bad guys.
Mm-hmm.
He brings back Barajira, Dagon from Magic Ranger, the big red fish,
Mm-hmm.
and
From Magic Ranger.
the last bad guy from Go Andre.
The Prime Minister of Hell.
Yeah.
Which is his title now.
And then they get teleported
Really,
to...
I thought Aubrey Kill would have taken that job by now.
Sure, you really thought he would have been
That was the strongest warrior.
So they get split up. Alta and Marvelous go, and then Blue and Pink, the Goseigers, and Pink and Green, the Gokaigers, and then the others get
Blue and
teleported.
yellow.
Yeah. Black, Blue, and the 2 yellows get teleported to the other place. So Marvelous and Alta end up fighting Barajira inside of this building that's frozen in time, and Alta recognizes that Marvelous is actually a good guy
because he shields a family in an elevator from getting hit.
Yeah, and then they realize.
Attack.
I love this scene though because I like it when they fight in office buildings. I don't know why. I just think it's great. And that whole thing where the lasers are like going around corners, Barajira just shooting lasers at him because of BB Debbie is like basically his spy camera.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they figure that out. They shoot the thing down and they beat Barajira, which is great. Because seeing the 2 of them just straight up wipe the floor with this guy is the greatest. In terms of Doc, Ahim, Eri, and Hyde, they're fighting Dagon, and they're fighting like on this cliffside with the bad the minions from Magic Ranger.
Mm-hmm.
They get blown off a cliff, and then Hyde uses his camouflage card to like make all of them look like them.
Mm-hmm.
And then they beat Dagon that way, and then the one from Go Under gets beaten by everybody else because Luca and Monet are basically the same person.
Yeah. They pose as fangirls, ask him for an autograph, lure him into a trap, and then they kill him.
Yeah.
And he has one of the best death cries ever.
Yeah.
I'm sorry!
And it's a pun in Japanese.
It is a pun. Because the Japanese love their puns.
Yeah.
True.
They all return to the real world. Navi helps Gosei Knight get his key back.
Mm-hmm.
But then the Black Cross King has him facing the 33 Super Sentai teams brought to life by the Ranger keys that he stole.
Mm-hmm.
And I cannot fucking tell you how much I love this scene. It's so good to seeing them. One, they take on like separate teams individually, then they team up with their respective color and take out everybody. And then they take on the other colors. Also, I love how they have these little things where they group the Goreigers in with their respective closest color.
Mm-hmm.
So, Gorei, crimson, and navy with red and blue, respectively.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Eri and Ahim are fighting together, and they said pink attack part 2, and Ahim's like part 2.
Wait,
and Eri's like, yep.
Keep up.
Because of the Goseiger Shinkenger special.
Mm-hmm.
And, oh, God, it's just so... And the Gosei Knight takes on all the 6 Rangers by himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because Gokai Silver's not technically existing yet.
Mm-hmm.
And, Gosei Knight doesn't suck.
Also
true.
And, yeah, they beat all of the teams, get all the keys back, and they, the Black Cross King gets beaten, he turns giant, and then the Goseigers and the Gokaigers are surrounded by the Ranger keys, and they are spoken to by quite a few of the past Sentais.
Yeah, Aka Ranger's there.
Yeah, Aka Ranger, Big One, Red One from Bioman. Hold on. I'm just going through and trying to get these people up. Red Turbo. No one really wanted that, but
well, somebody must have.
Dinah Pink,
Mm-hmm.
I just like seeing people come back.
Mm-hmm.
Also, she looks great.
I was gonna say
She looks almost the
this was
exact
shot in
same.
2011. She still looks pretty good.
Fuck, people refusing to age and bullshit.
I mean, she looks like she's aged, but she still looks good.
Yeah, she still looks great. Also, speaking of which, a couple of... I know Pink 5 from Bioman changed Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And one other person is supposed to be coming back in Lupat in the season finale this week.
Okay.
They're showing up as a cameo.
Oh, nice.
I know Pink 5 has a restaurant, and she also does farming stuff now. And I just love to see Change Phoenix back because I love her. And she looks like Pink 5 looks almost the exact same, but you can tell she's aged. But I'm sitting here like, God damn it, woman actually aged. She aged like, you leave water out for a little bit, and that's about it. And Change Phoenix is like, what's that? I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, then we get the...
Aging, my race doesn't do that.
We don't do
Vampires.
that. We don't do that here, Linda. If you're looking for that, please go look at the spoiled milk down the hallway. And then we get the giant scene of all the mechs fighting, the gigantic Black Cross King, and all the other ones show up, and the guy who had the Very Balloon, that actually turned into its own mech along with the Dingy Man one. And I love how the first mech to take the actual strike is the first mech in Battle Fever.
Yeah.
This mech, and they try to cut the thing down, and the Battle Fever mech is like, all right, so we're doing this, I guess.
and for a lot of them, when it cuts to the mechs using their finishers, it uses stock footage from the original show.
I think that actually makes it that much better because they did that when they were fighting the teams. They used stock footage from their show using their cannons, and I think that adds a certain level of quality of it where they're not just trying to recreate it. They're like, no, we're gonna do this how you remember it.
It's a little distracting.
I love it.
I think there are arguments for both sides. Part of you wants to see not only your old favorite Sentai finisher done again, but you also want to see it, like you were just saying, it's nice to see the suits in high def. So you want to kind of get that modern edge to it, But I understand the nostalgic factor and the rose-colored glasses and everything, so I think it's honestly up to personal preference.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I would like a little more modern technology added to it. Done the same style. But, like, just take the part, like, with the Changeman finisher where you just replace it with a doll and blow it up with a firecracker.
Well, I mean, that's just
That was
the
a
other
joke.
side of it.
That was a joke.
But
Chill your shit.
some things actually still look good. Like, the Battle Fever one still looks good.
Because it cuts to the Battle Fever one and it has that grainy shot on film quality. Like, they haven't really tried to restore it enough. But then it also is kind of interesting to see the old effects side by side with the new ones and see how
far we've come.
How their practical filmmaking has changed
Like,
over the years.
when they did the Turbo Ranger, Car Ranger.
I was saying, because you do
one.
see old and new back to back a lot of times in this. So you can really see, like, what's come before and what's come since.
Like, they literally did the 3-car Sentai. And I still love the Car Ranger spinning finisher.
Yeah.
I think that one just looks amazing. And it will always look amazing. But yeah, the gigantic mech fights and the Gokaigers actually use the great power of the Go Rangers and they get Hurricane Cassiopeia.
And I'm pretty sure the Jetman used their just used the plane.
Yeah, they
just used their plane at one point.
Because they did it with some of the Mega Rangers did that too.
Mm-hmm.
So they used like the plane finishers on one of the baddies that he ends up bringing out.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gokaigers at the end of the movie get the Goseiger keys back along with some of the other greater powers. And then at the very end, we see Gokai Silver as the Hero 199.
Which to me just feels kind of cheap. It's the 199 heroes, but he didn't actually do anything. He's just there at the end.
Yeah, because this takes place in between 16 and 17.
Yeah.
He appears in 17.
That's true enough.
But yeah, this movie's still amazing.
Still dumb.
I still absolutely love this movie.
I do. Yes, I do love this movie.
I love this movie too, but to go to Jacob's point, I wouldn't mind of him like having a secret fight scene, like by himself.
Like some...
Like one of them gets away and then...
Like
pretty much like what they did with Go Busters with their little...
Mm-hmm.
We'll talk about that in a second.
Yeah.
But you're talking about like more when they started bringing in like the secondary writer, whatever Kamen Rider season that was in. When he shows up, he beats whoever gets away at the very end of the movie. I don't know. I think this one's actually fine. Like just how they did it.
It's fine, but I think it could be better.
Now, Jacob, I'll ask you.
Yeah.
As I said, I had a question for you.
Okay, what is it?
Mega Monster Battle over this.
Thought you were going to go there. And I was actually thinking about this yesterday in terms of where this would rank in Toku movies for me. Mega Monster Battle was stupidly good.
It was. That was an
It was so good. And I think I'm going to have to say I think I like that one better.
I'm still going to say this. But barely. Because Mega Monster,
because the cream of the crop. You've got like the Forze movie. For me, the Jeed movie is incredible. Mega Monster Battle, 109 Heroes, and what's another great one? I was just thinking of it.
Not the Revenge of Belial.
No, I wasn't going to say that.
That
might come to me eventually.
was trash. Those are like your top 5. Well,
those are the top. Those that's what I consider to be the best of the best. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. Those are great movies. But yeah, this movie, it's sort of basic, but I completely and utterly love this movie.
It's basic in all the right ways.
Yeah. Like this is sort of Toku basic, but I don't care. This movie is still incredibly entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
How did it do for that year, dude?
Okay, for box office, this movie ranked 59th for the year of 2011, made the equivalent of $10 million US.
Not bad. I wonder what the budget was. The budget on here, the budget's not on here.
Because it was outgrossed by the O's Forze movie made more than this. The O's Wonderful movie, which I think is still the highest grossing of the modern Heisei Toku movies, that made more. Detective Conan, things like that. It was outgrossed by the Zekrom movie. The Pokemon Zekrom movie came out that year.
God!
And that was 7th for the year with 53 million.
Oh, I don't like that movie. But yeah, this movie is great. It's incredibly entertaining.
It is great.
It's just fun to watch. Any other final thoughts?
Go watch it if you haven't.
One little piece of trivia that I thought was interesting: the actor who plays the Black Cross King, Akira Kamiya, he's also the voice of Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star.
Oh,
Which I thought was kind of cool.
But
It's the same guy.
I would love to see the King Crush just do that.
Kenshiro in Fist of the North Star, Kogoro from Detective Conan. He was in O Ranger as Gunmazine.
oh, that character. He never shows up again. He legit, like, after this, you never see him again.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. Because he sucked.
But yeah, and he was Kenshiro in Fist of the North Star, so I just think that's kind of cool.
That's hilarious. But yeah, that's really all we think about this movie. Tell us what you think about 199 in the comments below. And when did you see it? Like, in terms of getting into Toku, when did you see this movie? So don't forget to subscribe to us on all the things: Patreon, Facebook, Twitter, Discord.
We will be putting a new Discord link on Twitter.
Just did.
Instagram, Patreon again.
But yeah, I just tweeted it.
So. Okay, awesome.
And don't forget to subscribe and hit that bell if you want to know when we post new
Notification
videos.
Squad.
We post
Notification
new videos
Sentai, Tokucast.
Sunday and Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Just so you know, for those of you coming in to us with this month. But yeah, we'll see you next time, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.